Here in the studio is Zuhal Mert Uzuner, Professor of International Relations at Marmara University. Thank you so much for coming in, Professor. This isn't just about Greek-administered Cyprus or the TRNC. This is about Turkiye as well. Over the past few days, these two projectiles being shot down by NATO air defense systems. How delicate a moment is this for Turkiye? How much threat is it really realistically in?
Actually, Turkey is not a part of the war, as it's explained very clearly, and Turkey does not want to be a part of this war because, as you know, Turkish foreign policy focuses on very important principle. The order and stability in the region is the priority of Turkish foreign policy. From that point of view, use of force, and in this case, you know, there is no international recognition. So it's out of United Nations Security Council resolution framework, so there is no legitimacy actually. And the classical Turkish foreign policy perspective has been always against such kind of interventionism. Not only in this case, it is a kind of tradition in Turkish foreign policy. So from that point of view, what happened in the last days were considered a kind of, let's say, the sad events, and not actually Turkish, let's say, the officials are not waiting some, let's say, continuation of this kind of events, and they want to consider all these happenings as a kind of accidental developments and not to increase the tension and trying to find a way for dialogue and solution. So this is the perspective for now.
That's the ideal scenario, that diplomacy and discussions will lead to a resolution. But NATO has just sent a Patriot air defense system and its missiles to the east of Turkey because of those projectiles coming from Iran. In terms of Article 5, do you see that as being something that will concentrate Iran's mind? If Iran were to seek some kind of, if it attacks Turkey, and therefore there is some kind of response, does a Turkish response become a NATO response? Are the two, can they be separated?
I think it can be separated. That's why Turkish officials shall be very careful about this kind of steps. And as you can see, we are living in a very volatile world order right now. So what to expect in the next step is very blurred. So how to find a clear answer to this question is very, very difficult. That's why I didn't say automatically, yes, Article 5 is protecting. No, this is not working like this for many cases. And Turkey's experience about this issue, because of several security threats in our history and near history, we couldn't find any support about this protection. But for now, there is a huge amount of, let's say, the navies and, you know, the artilleries in the Eastern Mediterranean somehow considered as part of this NATO forces. So when we look at their explanations, it's clear that they are presenting a kind of readiness to respond to any kind of Iranian attack to Turkey. But here there's a very big question. Is it war of Turkey? And shall we be a part of Turkey? Shall be a part of, let's say, the war as Turkey? So this is a very important question, and I think Turkish officials want to decrease tension and not to create a continuous instability in the region. So I think we are not at that point about Article 5. So I think Turkish officials for now thinking that there is a way to deal with Iranian officials, not to attack Turkey. And I think Iranians are enough rational people to think that it's not necessary for now. Because Turkey is very sensitive about Iranian sensitivities. This is also very important. It's not just escaping from Article 5.
They get along quite well.
Yes, and this is not the only case. I'm trying to explain this perspective very, very clearly. In case of Ukraine, in case of other regional conflicts, Turkey tries to settle down this rising tension to create a platform of diplomatic conducts. And we are not also very naive. I need to underline that too, because sometimes it seems like Turkey is somehow dreaming some good, nice days for future. No, it's not the case. Turkish diplomacy has capacity to see which platforms and has what capacity, so where there is need to make investment and where is not. So that's why we need to see that this Article 5 issue is not the case for stopping Iran to attack Turkey. Turkey's capacity, Turkey's a regional policy, neighborhood policy, by itself is a kind of deterring capacity. And it is diplomatic, it is not military. And I think this is more important than what we are talking about NATO today.
Sure. Okay. We shouldn't take knowledge for granted. Article 5, by the way, is that collective defensive agreement NATO has. If one member is attacked, the others can, at that request, come to the aid of the country that's been attacked.
Sure.